What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from MTG headquarters, and tonight I had an awesome opportunity to interview one of the co-creators of a brand new full-length Magic the Gathering documentary. Nathan Holt, alongside with Sean Kornheiser, has helped create something I think is really awesome. I'm hoping you will listen to the interview and then watch the exclusive trailer at the end of the video. You know, I recorded the video and the audio seemed to be recording, and then when I came back, I didn't have any audio of Nate or myself. The audio, however, was preserved, so hopefully you'll forgive me. Listen to the interview. I think Nate has a lot of awesome things to say about making the documentary, and then you'll stick around to check out the trailer at the end. And this thing comes out on the 25th of April, so it's coming up. So hope you enjoy the interview, and we'll see you at the end. All right, Nate, so thanks for taking time to talk to me here, connect. Where are you located, actually?
Philadelphia, actually. I've been here since 2005, so it's kind of my adopted home.
Oh, right on. Okay, so from Wisconsin to Philadelphia, digital connect, digital handshake to you.
That's right. There you are.
Yeah. So I saw the trailer for the Magic Pro Tour documentary today and reached out to you, obviously, because I wanted to ask you some questions about it. Could you tell me a little bit about what kind of inspired you to take on this project, or how this whole thing kind of came to be?
So, we had been making Walking the Plains, this web series that's kind of like funny, a little silly, lighthearted sort of portrayal of the Pro Tour and its community. And our, executive producer, Greg Collins at Wizards of the Coast, he wanted to give us a new project that would challenge us because we had been doing it for a couple years, and he just wanted to see what other, horses we had under the hood, I guess, if I'm making up analogies on the spot.
Yeah.
So we had the idea of kind of initially doing like a retrospective of a year on the Pro Tour, just kind of chronicling, who was hot at certain times and what the big movements and the formats were and blah, blah, blah. And then as we kind of developed it, Sean and I came back to him and said, well, why don't we just make like a documentary feature? Like if we're talking about making this large video file, rather than just kind of chronicle a year in the Pro Tour, let's actually get into the lives of these Magic players and get to know them more personally. And kind of the model that we were working from was Spellbound, which is a documentary about kids at a spelling bee, and there's like 13 of them, and they go to their homes and they meet their families, and then it all culminates in the big World Championship in Washington D.C. And so there's some parallels still present in Enter the Battlefield with that, given the build up to the World Championship.
It's funny. It's like I was literally going to ask. I don't know how. I'm a big documentary guy. Like I'll watch documentaries on how they make shower drains because it's just interesting. I was going to ask, was there anything you pulled inspiration from? But certainly
well, I say Spellbound was definitely like my biggest inspiration in it. But Sean, my partner, who is the one behind the camera doing everything that you see me in, whether it's Walking the Plains or Enter the Battlefield, in which I do not appear on camera, by the way. I'm completely behind the camera on that one as well. But he has been making documentaries for years and years and years, and so he just has a ton of experience. And so this, if Walking the Plains was more kind of my wheelhouse of like silly sketch comedy and like stupid little scripted things and like dorky Magic jokes, this was kind of us moving into his world of expertise. So I ended up learning a lot from him, and he has probably watched every single documentary, as well. I'm sure he watches them on shower drains, mattress springs, etc. It was really, I just learned a whole lot by working with him on that, and it was cool to see him jump into the driver's seat and really make something awesome.
What so that kind of thanks for your answer too, by the way, and that's kind of take me to the next question, where like I know I make 4-minute videos for YouTube that I open up cards most often. So there's not like a lot of pre-production that goes
Right.
into, or really any post. I mean, my
There's
biggest
a lot of in the moment,
Right, right.
improvisation.
Keeping
which is
it
cool.
real for the camera is what my specialty is. But what kind of undertaking was there a point in this project where you were just like, like what do we get ourselves into when you had
constantly. We at first we thought it would take a year, and then we thought it would take a year and a half, and then we thought it would take 2 years, and here it is. From when we initially pitched the project to the release date, it's like 2.5 years. And we were working on it the whole time, so it's not like it was on the shelf for a while and then we picked it back up again. I mean, there was just constantly things to do, and it's just not one of those additive things. We're used to making these 15 to 20-minute videos for Walking the Plains, and we were like, how hard could it be? Like, this is only like a 64-minute piece, which is technically feature length for, documentaries. Maybe it's just making like 3 or 4 Walking the Plains episodes. It's like not that at all. It's just it's just completely different, and I think we were pretty naive about a lot of stuff. There was a lot of learning on the fly. A lot of readjustments, a lot of panic buttons pressed when we thought it just would not happen. We thought we had to pull the plug a couple times. But, we pushed through, we persevered, and I think for anybody who's made a feature film, they're probably looking at me like, I remember my first one. Yeah, it's a doozy. So I know if we did it again, we'd probably be a lot more efficient. We'd probably have a much better idea of what we're doing. So much of it is just like, we're just used to turning on the camera and just doing it, just roll camera, let's go. Let's act, let's talk, let's edit, let's post. I'm sure you're familiar with it. Just like, just run and gun. And as a DIY outfit from Philadelphia with like almost no help. That's just the model we were used to, and now you make feature like, whoa, now you got to get legal rights here, and you got to clear it with corporations here, and there's just corporate, approval needed at every level, because it's just a bigger deal for some reason. People just decide it's a bigger deal, and that's cool, it's exciting, but it also just made the task that much. The marathon that much longer to run, I guess. Yeah,
I bet. What was it like? I noticed a familiar name when narrated by. I thought maybe you would be narrating it, but you decided to pull out the Watsy guns and then bring in some voiceover talent, huh?
Yeah, well, Will Wheaton is kind of a big deal. I think he was like the most famous person we could think of who actually plays magic, that we know plays magic,
I see.
Yeah, like, well, at first I was like, oh yeah, I'll do the voiceover, and there'd be this personal connection because I'm at the shoot and I can say, all right, well, we visited Owen Turtenwald's house and we met his mother and she had this to say, blah, blah, blah. And kind of do that first person narration that you often hear from documentary filmmakers, but Sean just kind of said, nah, I think we just want a famous person. We just want like the Morgan Freeman. If we could get Morgan Freeman, we would.
Yeah, right.
But Will was kind of like a great fit just because obviously he's well known. He loves magic a lot. He's a casual player. He's not a freakazoid like the rest of us who play constantly all the time, but he's fluent in the game and he's done some other promotional stuff for Watsy, so it was cool. I mean, Sean and I just flew out to L.A. I'd been working on this voiceover
no
stuff.
Big deal.
No big deal.
Yeah,
just giving directions to Will Wheaton through a pane of glass in a sound studio. I was like, am I really doing this? Do I really just hit the button and tell him to do it different?
Yeah, right.
No,
right.
Will, do it different. So, yeah, that was cool. But, yeah, it was... I thought maybe I would, but Sean had other ideas. I think it was a smart call by him, and he was probably just sick of hearing my voice editing all that video for years. So.
I imagine.
Yeah.
So now that so the official release date is April 25th?
Right, so there's a live stream on Twitch on April 25th. It's going to start at, I believe it is noon West Coast time, 3 p.m. East Coast time, and then,
that's going to be on the Twitch/Magic.
Twitch.tv/Magic, right. Okay. It's going to run for 12 hours, so it's just going to, run on a loop, yeah. So it'll just give a lot of people a chance to tune in, and that's, if you want to be the first people to see it, then join us on Twitch. We'll be in the chat. I'll be live tweeting. It'll be really cool and interactive. And then the next day, it'll be on Netflix and YouTube. So
would it be on the WotC YouTube channel?
Yes. Yeah, it'll be on the WotC YouTube channel. Yeah.
So, final parting question for you, and I know you've got a lot to do, so I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
So obviously there's few people closer to this project than you, and I'm curious, as one of the creative minds behind it, what are you hoping people are going to take away from this film?
Well, part of it is we wanted to make it accessible to not just Magic players. We see Magic players as like the core of our fan base, obviously, but we wanted like other gamers, who maybe heard of Magic or know about Magic or played Magic a little bit, to really get a glimpse of what it takes to be a competitor on that level. And I think a lot of people still have this notion that Magic is this children's card game where, you just pull a $300 card every once in a while, and that's awesome and exciting, and I do that, and I made, some Crack-a-Pack videos as well, but it's so multifaceted, and part of it is, like, to be a real competitor at the highest level, there's a lot of humanity there. A lot of grit and guts that goes into it. These Pro Tour players are putting themselves on the line, really. They're putting just their time and their heart and their passion into it, and they're building their personal relationships around it. And that's, just as a documentarian, very interesting to behold. So we want people who are not into Magic to play it, and not just gamers, but also the general public. I mean, we've all seen, documentaries about fringe subjects, whatever, shower drains, and it's like, well, for people who are curious, we want them to really learn about it, and we want them to get attached to Magic players as people, and to make Magic players, make their humanity apparent. And the participants in our documentary, Huey, Owen Reed, Chris, Shahar, Melissa, they're vulnerable on camera, and that's a very courageous thing to do. It takes a lot of trust. So we hope that we tell their stories well, and that we hope that the audience enjoys going on that little ride with them. And Patrick Chapin, I forgot him.
Yeah. Well, hey, good catch.
Yeah.
I think that they all have a compelling story to tell, and I'm looking forward to. I would definitely be watching it the moment the live stream starts, and I hope that everyone listening to this interview gives it a chance. And if you don't catch it on Twitch, then follow up on Netflix or just the YouTube channel, and share it with somebody maybe who, a lot of people ask this game, right? If we play Magic, everyone understands, people are always asking, what is that? And I think documentaries and the more proper feature-length stuff that's out there, it will help more people understand. Because right now, you could say, like, I tell people, oh, it's like chess and math combined,
right.
And a little fantasy stuff,
But people are like, but what is Magic? Like, what is it? What do people do? So this is a step in that direction. And
Well, definitely. I appreciate your guys' effort, everyone's effort involved, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me tonight. And I'm gonna get this video up probably on April 12th tomorrow.
Cool.
And hopefully we'll have a huge crew or huge showing, like a big theater full of
Nice.
digital participants on the 25th when it starts streaming.
Love it. Thanks so much, Jeremy. And may you crack all the foil mythics.
Yeah.
I'm trying to impart some energy onto you here.
I actually feel it. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna open some packs from behind me here, and we'll be okay.
Excellent.
Well, thanks a lot, Nate.
Yeah. Take care. Thanks, Jeremy.
Magic is kind of the only thing in my life that I ever wanted to be good at, that I ever dedicated my time to, and I just haven't really stopped.
The one thing I guess I would say to people is, my son never loses. He's relentless. He's relentless.
I would want to have a legacy. I was the first female to top 8 a Pro Tour. It was like a huge moment in Magic history. And I want to be remembered as that person, and I want other females to be inspired to play or do as well as I did.
Yeah, and I still love playing Magic, and for me, it's like the Hall of Fame is so close. I feel like, one more good Pro Tour finish even could get me back on the ballot, maybe get me in the Hall of Fame.
What's up, and thanks for watching this video. I produce all different kinds of content, so if you haven't yet, click on my face to subscribe. If you want to watch more videos, I've got some sweet playlists, including this one, where I open up every fat pack ever created. I've also got this one over here where I open just about anything vintage and old and expensive for your enjoyment. And all this is made possible by the awesome backers at our Patreon, which is linked in the description of every video. Hop on over there, check it out, see if it's something you might want to consider. If not, sit back, enjoy, and I'll still love you.